In this class we want to talk about personal and professional development. Now in fact this class is very straightforward, simple to understand and easy to follow, but it does contain some useful information in terms of careers and career development and career selection, so well worth looking at. First of all, career benefits from education. Well, let's look at what career benefits can be had from education. First of all, we have higher education, which is university education and college education. There is an issue here about getting admission to the courses in these institutions. The admissions policy may be quite strict. It may involve certain qualifications in mathematics or in communication skills that are quite onerous. However, this means that the courses are good quality, generally speaking, and at the end there is every prospect of a good career. So the admission to a higher education course is a good idea. It's a way of promoting career prospects and should really be the ambition of most students. Education enables employment. It enables students to acquire good positions because they have achieved certain levels in their education. They've got a greater understanding of certain issues and they are more employable. And employers like that because they're able to have higher productivity and greater focus on the work, greater motivation, and a workforce that is generally speaking more engaged and more career orientated. So a career based on what was achieved in education tends to be highly sought after. Now some courses are very much career orientated. For example, business, management, economics, engineering. Many courses are focused in very tightly on particular career routes. So having selected one of those, the chances of good employment at the end is further promoted. But employers are interested in, generally speaking, most qualifications coming out of universities. It's just that some may have already encountered skills that will save the employer time and effort in providing the skills if they're already acquired at the university or course level stage. Career benefits from education also include personal confidence and the selection of the correct career path. Correct career path means that for each individual they have aspirations in certain ways. They want to work in certain fields and in certain occupations, and they're more likely to have clear images of what they want, having gone through a higher level course. They will have reflected on their abilities, on their interests, and they will have carefully selected the work that they want to engage in. And therefore, of course, they will be more motivated when they finally get a position in that particular career area. But the students themselves will have much more confidence when they've achieved higher level qualifications. They have the confidence of knowing, that's derived from knowing, that they are capable of achieving high levels of education and being successful. So they're a confident set of individuals. Now it's important to look at the agencies that can help students in acquiring these positions. So agencies, generally speaking, try to match up qualifications with career aspirations. So education and careers tend to be joined up through agencies and through facilities similar to what the agents offer. Now these may come down from private agencies to governmental. Let's have a look at a small exercise. Say, contact your group and identify sources of career information, including agencies, and the kind of advice they offer. So try to make a list of some agents that you have researched and share it with your group and ask them to do the same. So you have quite a good list of agents who help to find employment for students. Now you need to find out whether these are governmental or non-governmental. Non-governmental are doing it for profit, and what are the terms and conditions, and be absolutely clear before you engage one of these private agencies that their terms and conditions are acceptable, because they may charge quite a lot. And is it for the student or the applicant to pay, or is it for the employer? So that is important. Now the sources of career advice. Well, general sources of information would be the colleges and universities. Generally speaking, there are career centres in most colleges and universities who can advise students on the way forward. Having completed a course, they can suggest further courses or employment in particular sectors, and put the students in contact with sources of information related to those sectors and to those companies. So that's a good source of information. As I said earlier, employment agencies, but being careful to select agencies with good terms and good history and a good track record, who are very professional in helping to find work, to find careers for the students. Not just any old agency, or not necessarily the cheapest agency. Some may be set up with very little expertise in the areas and just trying to earn a living. So it's important to find the right agents, and for that reason I suggested earlier that you contact your group and ask your group to help out with the search for agents and look at testimonials from students in the past who have written about what happened when they worked with a certain agent. So try to get as much information as possible. And there may be governmental career advice centres. Many governments around the world try to help people to get them into the right occupations, to match up skills with requirements. It's in the interest of the country that the people match their skills to the requirements of industry and commerce, so that the country itself is more productive. And to that end, the government may supply support and advice to students and people looking for appropriate careers. So that's important. There may be specialist sector publications. It may be that certain sectors, certain industries have got specialist publications, and they will include vacancies and include information about employment within that sector. So researching the industry itself is a good idea, looking to see what the industry publishes and what the individual companies within the industry are also publishing. Of course, there's online. It's always the case that there is online nowadays, but online sources of information can be very good. And here a second exercise may be useful. For a start, research what's meant by an e-portfolio. Now you'll find that an e-portfolio is just online facilities where you can upload information about yourself. Now these should be secure. We don't want information like this leaking out into the general domain, into the general public. So it should be secure. So make sure that your research finds secure e-portfolios. Now, an e-portfolio, as I said, is where you upload information about yourself, your career, your achievements, your education, professional information. Nothing really personal. You may include material about your hobbies if your hobbies are related to the career or show some aspect of you that you want employers to know about. For example, you like sports and you're a good team player. That's something positive. You may have achieved certain things in your past, and you may want the employers to know about those. So check out what an e-portfolio is, and if possible, sign up to one. Now, many colleges will have e-portfolio facilities that will be mentioned in their information. So, for example, we offer Mahara as an e-portfolio facility, and you'll find information about this in the introduction to the module. But there are online ones which don't go through any particular college and that you may want to check out. So look into ePortfolio. And it's also a good idea to join LinkedIn. It's a site for professionals. It's not a social media site as such. It's not a chat site. It's more to do with professionals making contact and networking with each other. So having found friends who are on LinkedIn, they may be able to recommend employment in certain companies, and they know of certain jobs coming up, and they may be able to keep you informed. So networking is a good idea, and it's a good idea to join LinkedIn and have your presence there. But make sure that your presence does look professional. Look at good examples of this and research it before you apply and write up your details. Make sure it looks professional and make sure it looks interesting. Prospects, well, there are graduate career websites which advertise both jobs and courses, and this one here is in the UK, and again it will show you or give you a flavour of the type of information and support that, generally speaking, is available through online facilities, and you will pick up information like this from other websites. So some research will yield a lot of information in this area. Colleges and universities, well, career services are available at most schools, colleges and universities. It's common practice to have a career section, I should say, within the institution. It may be manned by experts, experts at writing up CVs, looking at presentation material, knowing what's happening in the job market, who keeps up to date with current statistics in the labour market, who knows of job fairs where employers seek to recruit students and other people. So they are a wealth of information, and it's worth keeping in contact with them and checking to see what's available there. They offer personal advice and career support, and usually have databases of jobs and course vacancies. So well worth using. There are recruitment fairs and exhibitions that employers put on from time to time. They visit schools and universities and make presentations to students and to try to recruit the students, the ones they want. And several employers may be involved from different sectors. In the UK, this is known as the Milk Round, and the Milk Round is where lots of employers visit an area, perhaps with several colleges in the area. The student from the several colleges go to the milk round, go to the exhibition, in other words, hear presentations, pick up literature, get to talk to the people from the companies, and eventually make applications to the companies based on what they've found out. The company website is always a good place to find information. It's, generally speaking, it contains the background on the company, what the products the company make, where they're operating. So it gives a good insight into the business, and it's important when applying for a job or for a position or for a career in a particular area. It's important to know the background, because once the student has got to the interview stage, they will ask about what research the student has done into the company, and they will expect the student to know about the company, to know something of the history of the company, what products are being made, what markets are being served, what issues the company are currently working on. They will expect some expertise on the part of the applicant relating to that company. So it's not just a question of turning up for the interview, it's a question of turning up for the interview and being prepared to answer questions about the company. You'll also find on the websites a lot of companies make available information about current vacancies. If not, they will give a contact address to which an application could be made, a general application. Perhaps send a CV, and a CV should be, a curriculum vitae should be a short document, normally about one side of A4, because it's the first exploratory contact with the organisation. Sending a long document will not be read. The people who work for the company will receive many such applications, perhaps per week. They haven't got time to read all of them. So a short document shows that you are a considerate person and you're able to summarize the key points into a short document. So the website will provide some sort of contact there, and it's worth getting an email off with a CV attached. As I said, the website tells you a lot about the company, enabling you to judge whether you really want to work for that company or if it attracts you or not. So it's a good way of filtering information. So I said, this is just a brief, straightforward chat about approaches to getting employment within chosen career areas. These are the sort of information places that you can look for, websites and exhibitions and so on. It's important to start the whole process as soon as possible. So if you're on a 2-year course, start this process in the first year and build up an expertise of a particular sector, not just one company perhaps, of the whole sector. So you may be interested in medical equipment, in which case look at the whole medical equipment area. You will know then about the competitors, the products, what to do, the upsides, the downsides, and then later on when you're applying to a company within that sector, you already have quite a lot of knowledge about the whole sector. You're able to focus in on the one and pick up some detailed information which will help you at the interview stage, which hopefully you will get to. That's all I'm going to do at this moment on this topic. So quite straightforward, very straightforward in fact, simple, but yet important in terms of career development. That's all I'm going to do, so thank you for watching.